4WS Prelude. That was freaking cool. Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw that on the live. I'm not sure if I was able to get it in time at the lights or not, but yeah, going the other way was a four-wheel steering pop-up headlight Honda Prelude from the 80s. Like, that is so damn cool. Yeah, I haven't been live for a while, so I hope you all are doing good. I'm, you know, just here, cruising. Like I mentioned, I'm going home, so I'm still, I mean, I'm in Beaumont right now, and, you know, I'll be, hey, it's going good, how are you doing? And I absolutely will, you know what, as safe as I can be. Well, especially when I'm in, like, deep traffic like this. Like, I'm not going to be paying attention to the chat too much during this, just because of, well, I don't feel like having an accident, right? But I will chat with y'all, so, yeah, no, it's not a bad fall day. It's not that hot, but, like, it's kind of overcasty and stuff, and it did rain a little bit earlier. But, yeah, like, right now, this is just, Beaumont, Alberta. And I'm in my 81 Mustang. I'd be in my 82 Mustang, but she's not done yet. The transmission's still out of the car, so, but I have to go home, and yeah, it sucks. But it is what it is. See, this Bulbasaur plushie I've had since I was 2 years old, just so you know. It's from 98. I think it was my dad that bought that for me for my second birthday. It's one of the few things I've had since I was like really, really young, and Bulbasaur is always there, always protective, that sort of thing, right? So that's why I have him there. And it means a lot to me, that little plushie. There we go. And you got a rubber ducky with a propeller helmet from my RX-7. Nice. That's awesome. Yeah. Here's the thing. I have only owned... I won't even count that one technically. I have only owned, besides parts cars, one car that was not an inline six, other than the truck that I bought and flipped. Every other vehicle I've owned has had a 200 inline six in it. It's pretty wild to think about that, but it's true. Oh, and I needed to go all messages. There we go, so I can see everything. You got at an 84. You can't remember the engine. Well, there was 3 different engine options in that year. Actually, yeah, 3. If it wasn't a... Actually, it wouldn't have even been an SVO at 84, I don't think. I think that started in 85. Because it would have been either a 2.34 banger, a 3.8 V6, or the 5-liter V8. All the red lights. Normally, I would have just went around Beaumont, but I decided, why not for the live go through Beaumont this time. But I'm hitting every single red light. You think it was a V6? It was probably 3.8 then. Yeah, because the 3.8 V6 was introduced in for the 1983 model year and ran until 86. And then it was killed off and then brought back in 94 for the SN95 Mustang. Oh, nice. Whee! Speed and power. I'm not even pressing the gas right now. I'm just letting it coast like that. Oh, fun times, fun times. But I actually did get the tires to chirp. You know, I dumped the clutch and had a little bit of axle hop, but that wasn't bad considering. But my car runs way better up here than it does in Sundry, and that's because it's a much lower elevation here compared to Sundry. So Sundry is a good 1,000-foot extra in elevation compared to Edmonton. Just came get the revs up with your RX-7, you're fine. But yeah, you know, I'm just, it's been a, interesting couple of days. So like yesterday, I didn't really get much done on my 82. I basically popped the wheels back on so that just in case, if Keith needs the lift for anything, at least he can just pull the car out relatively easily if he just hooks a strap or a chain to it. No big deal. Or just hook his tow truck to it, even. It's fine. It's fine. I've driven vehicles that you've had to do that to. That's just because they've had horrible carburetors on them that need to be adjusted bad. At one point, hell, I had to do that with this car because the carburetor was like, that was a Holly carb that I can never get set up right. Somewhere around there would be 70. My speedometer's off because it's set for my 28 tall tires, not these, what, 24 and a half tall. So, yeah, and I haven't run these tires in a while because these are my winter tires. I've been running those 10 holes with the Yokohamas on it all summer long. Or not all summer long, but like for past few months. So, like about 3 months now, I think. You had an 86 Capri with a 5-liter 5-speed. You also had an 85 SSP, ex-California. Not sure why you got rid of it though. I mean, fair. You know, it's one of these things. I mean, we all have those cars that we wish we would have kept, but we didn't. And yeah. I know that all too well. My Vandura was the one I wanted to keep so bad. And the other one would have been my 86 convertible Mustang. But to be honest, the convertible's in a better place than I currently had for storage because I didn't have indoor storage and the top was getting destroyed. So, but the caveat to that is that I can drive that car whenever I want. So, win. And you love the sound of the 200? There you go. There's a little sound for you. And you're rebuilding it? Nice. That's awesome. So wait, you have an 81 as well. That's a C4. Are you keeping it as a C4? Or are you gonna attempt to do a manual swap? Because I would recommend a manual swap, but it's a pain in the ass. A lot of mixing and matching, and you really have to be like very mechanically inclined to do it. Unless you swap the block for if you have to find an 82 block. Are you keeping the C4 until you find a good T5? Well, okay, here's my recommendation for you. Find an 82 to 83 200 with the low mount starter. Reason being is that has a small block forward bell housing pattern. So you can use a V8 flywheel as long as it's a zero balance. You can use a V8 starter and you don't have to screw around with any adapters or anything like that. You can run straight that. The only thing is the top two bolts don't line up, but you can drill those in your bell housing and it's not a problem. That's what I would recommend for a T5 swap, because doing it the way I did it, it's nightmare fuel. It really is. That is about my limit for wanting to do absolutely anything like that. Oh, okay. You do? Okay, cool. Venezuelan. Oh, so you're from Venezuela? Or is it just happens to be a Venezuelan 200 you got? Because I thought in Venezuela they use like the 221s, or am I thinking of Brazil for that? You're from Venezuela? Oh, that's cool. Oh, that is really awesome. Like, the one thing is, I want to swap the head on this car. Oh, Argentina. Okay. The 221. Okay, I couldn't remember because there is so many variants of these heads. It's hard to get them all, to remember them all, right? Because there was the Argentinian, there's the Brazilian, there is the Venezuelan heads, I believe, too. And there's just, yeah, it's bonkers. You know, then there's, of course, the Australian heads and the American heads. So there's a lot of differences between them all. But yeah, I know that, I believe it's the Argentinian heads will bolt directly on this without a problem. The early non-crossflow 250 Aussies will also bolt directly on as well. You know, but I don't know about any of the other ones. Hey Peter, how's it going? You're looking up Argentinian Mustangs? Well, and then they had the weird... yeah, like, because it was mostly, they didn't have much difference in their body on them. They were very similar to these. But there would have been, like, some things for, like, laws and stuff like that. Yeah, and now, like, and my car here, because this is an 81 Mustang, it's got the stock head on it. This head is the large log head, which is identical to a 250 head. That's what they came with, starting, and I think it was 1980, they started to do that, or maybe it was 79, I can't remember, but, you know, like, and I love these engines, you know, I've had, like, right now I own 2 of these cars with this engine, and I have a spare engine in the C-Can. This is a bone stock suspension. I've got, essentially, I've got replacement springs out back. I've got Monroe shocks all the way around. Nothing special, to be honest, not yet. I want to update the suspension, and I do have some upgrades for the suspension. Just, I don't have the full thing yet. I have front KYB struts for this car, and I just wish I had the full set, but I don't. I have some others that could go on the back, but they just look like generic replacements, so I'm not going to use those. I'd much rather just use my Monroes at that point. So yeah, and when I get home at some point during the week here, I might end up doing that. Oh, it's not that bumpy at all. What's happening is that I don't have like a steady camera for, like, my phone mount's not a steady camera or anything like that when I'm live on YouTube, so it just looks bumpier than it is. Like, it's actually a fairly comfortable car overall. For the most part, they are. And you're not letting me in here, Nick. There we go. Now I'm on the QE2. I mean, you could do that. You know, it's interesting. Did you know that there are 2 other companies that could, that were actually intending to run the rotary, besides like NSU, which is where Mazda got the sort of like patent from. was supposed to be, like, Chevrolet was supposed to run the rotary in the Vega and the Monza, but they never ended up doing that. Instead, they scrapped that, and also AMC was supposed to do that too. I did see that. I haven't watched the video yet, but I saw his little clip on YouTube of him actually, like, he got it running really quick and then started to move it. You know, and it was really cool actually to see that great. It's also really rare because that's not only an RS turbo, that's also a rear wiper car. Not too many of those were actually built. So, oh, Ryan, anything is possible. You can put just about any engine into any car, it just depends on your fabrication skills. Because that 13B is incredibly small. Like, you'll have to go with custom motor mounts, custom transmission mounts as well, and stuff like that, but you could do it if you really wanted to. Like, you definitely could, but it's kind of like, you know, I've seen a road. Oh, sorry about that. The live kind of died for a second there, but I'm back now. Like, it might cut in and out a little bit as I'm doing this, but we'll see. And the construction in Leduc. You can never get away from construction on the QE2. Never, ever. Sorry about that. I don't know why it just kind of shit the bed. Like, it's not like that there isn't good phone signal here. Yeah, here's the thing. You need to do everything absolutely custom, and you wouldn't want to run the probe front-wheel drive with the rotary. You'd much rather be rear-wheel or all-wheel drive. Which, fun fact, they actually did make an all-wheel drive probe, I'm pretty sure. All-wheel drive, four-wheel steering, or at the very least they did the Mazda MX-6 that way, which is the same car. But, I don't know. I mean, it'd be kind of neat to see a rotary swap probe. I don't think I've ever seen one. Here we go, just a nice autumn day. Of course, you can... Yeah, it's been done more than once. Because, you know, the Ford Probe, the Chevrolet Lumina, and the Chevy Corsica were all very popular cars to make into Probot cars back in the day. You know? And so, yeah, and a lot of people would, like, gut them completely, convert them to rear-wheel drive, shove a V8 in them, and take them racing down the quarter mile. Nothing of that motor, like absolutely nothing. So I don't know if they're really any good. I don't know if they have problems. I have no clue. I know it's a Mazda V6. That's about it. Mustang, like, properly on the road to where, like, it's the safest it can be, I'm gonna need to swap the rotor 1.2 header in the back that I'm gonna get my buddy Pat to modify for me, so that I can actually bolt it onto this car. I didn't see no hitchhiker. But yeah, see now, and I can make it maybe a little bit more smooth. If I held the camera maybe like that, no, it's still shaky. Like, I've got some sort of a shake in the car, I don't know what it is, but like I said, it's probably the motor mounts in decision. What am I like higher RPM like this? Oh, that'll be cool. No, that would be freaking awesome there, Peter. Yeah, with your Falcon, right? Yeah, because you got the bar of Falcon. Yeah. Which I never thought that those would sound like a V8, just because they typically, like, overhead cab motors typically have more of a baritone noise. Or sorry, not baritone, more of a it's more raspy, right? Compared to a V8 that are usually more baritone. But I guess it depends on the V8 you're trying to compare it to, I suppose. Watched The Simpsons in a long time. I hardly remember much of the show. Like, I mean, we used to watch it every week, and there was a Dodge pickup, lifted Dodge pickup with a snap tie rod that was at the side of the road there. But it didn't have a caution tape on it, so it may have gotten stolen and then it snapped the tie rod. Oof. Sorry, I was thinking of somebody else. There's another guy named Peter that lives over there that has a Barra. So, my bad. Yeah, I know the show is still going. I just haven't watched it in a long time. That's all. Whoa! Hey, Mr. Semi Truck, pay attention to the road there, sir. Come on, hey, you're drifting again, bud. You're drifting. For the RX-7 as opposed to the Probe, but the Probe will still be fun too. Just waiting for it. It's not that I don't like the Probe. It's that the RX-7 is cooler. That's all. Like, and I mean, and if I remember correctly, yeah, because your Probe, is it a first gen or second gen Probe? I can't remember. Driving in Australia. Hang on. There you go. See, I am actually. That doesn't really is not for this car. At all. Because that headliner guy told me it's for a coupe. I install it in a parking lot and it doesn't fit because it's for a hatchback. Yeah, but the first gen has pop-up headlights, and pop-up lights are the best, so there's that. Pop-up lights excite me. They're just awesome. And that is a Charger GT all-wheel drive. You don't see the all-wheel drives very often anymore. And the second gen does too. I thought that they had fixed headlights instead. Am I just remembering my probes wrong? Although I do like the more angular look of the first gen probe, to be honest. Just like the first gen MX-6. Same idea. Like, I'm not as huge of a fan as like the swoopy nature, like the very, very swoopiness. It's still cool, but I prefer angular. Case in point, look at what I'm driving. It's a wedge going down the road, right? Like, this is a wedge. It's not a vicious wedge, but it is a wedge. Now, I wonder what's going on, like, what I'm hearing in the back that is making that kind of, like, a rattle noise, like it's plastic or it's rubber. I've got two Mustangs. I have my 82 Mustang and my 81. My 82 Mustang, I'm neck deep in the middle of a transmission swap on it. Yeah. I mean, fair enough. No, like, I'm not invalidating your car at all. I'm just saying what I prefer, that's all. Like, and I have seen, like, first-gen probes around, but granted, are they common? God, no. You don't see them that often at all. But hey, want to see something sweet? See that right there? That is my Hooker Super Competition Series dual exhaust header that I've got for this car. And that's actually very rare. They haven't made those in over 20 years. So that's why people say, oh, you should just use the short tube header. I'm like, no. I'm using that 100%. It is been cleaned up a bit lately, but it's still in fairly good shape overall. But it will need to be like fully either like dipped or sandblasted. But I don't know if they get inside with sandblasting, so they might have to dip it just to clean it up. And it probably cost me, I don't know, about $200 or so to coat that header. Hey, no, I respect your cars, absolutely. I just like the RX-7 more, that's all. I mean, that header, once modified, is going to go to Top Gun Coatings, and whatever they do to it, I am comfortable with, because they do an impeccable job of that. They're in Calgary, and they're one of the best in the province. So, and it's weird, because like their shop is just like some little hole-in-the-wall shop in Calgary. But they do incredible work, and they don't charge an arm and a leg for it. So win-win-win. Fair enough. Like, I know of, you know, I mean, I know of the different medias that people use for blasting. Like, obviously there's sand, glass, and some of the other ones you mentioned. Soda. And there's also a thing that is new called dry ice cleaning. It's literally a sandblast, like it's literally a blaster, but it shoots dry ice, and it gets all like the rust and everything off. but it doesn't affect the paint, which is kind of interesting. It's very, very, very fine for that. Excuse me, Mr. Trucky Wucky. We're passing you now. Thank you. Because the construction zone has now ended. Bye-bye. Yes. Well, that would be cool. Blast and coat my header and it doesn't cost me an arm and a leg, you know, I'd send business your way and I'd shut you up 100%. And also, I don't know if you guys saw, but I posted a video here on YouTube, or did I actually post it on YouTube? I think I did. Of my gimmicky stereo that's in my 82 Mustang. That thing is hilarious. I love it. It's like, it sounds that I haven't heard in about 10 years. Or more, honestly. Because not many people I knew growing up had Sony stereos. So, that made the noises that thing does. It's great. Lame! Like, why not? Why can't you get a little bit of side work done? Bullshit! Ah, bullshit! Ah, bullshit! Just a sweet sound of no emissions equipment through dual flow pro mufflers out back. Ah. I can't wait to hear what this header's gonna sound like though, once I have it on the car. A new car, it feels weird. It just does. Because I'm used to driving this. I put so many miles on this car. And just as I'm about to pass this Highlander, I get this Nissan Maxima that passes me. Oh, it's the Altima! It's an Altima with a 3.5! Actually be quite a little sleeper, because that's not the VQ35 granted front-wheel drive variant of it, but VQ35 of that thing, it's got 250-ish horsepower. I think would haul last. Oh yeah, like, the interesting part is, so my 81 Mustang here, great car to, you know, like, very practical, very relatively safe as long as you don't actually crash it. Because you can, there isn't really blind spots in this car. Like, there is a little bit, but not much. Do they? They might, I have no idea. I haven't paid attention to what Nissan's doing in a hot minute. Because Nissan nowadays is kind of garbage. And it's sad. You know? Like, I know they make the 400Z. Obviously, I know that they make the Ultima and the Maxima. Although, the Maxima and the Ultima actually look really good. But that's about all I know about them. I mean, why would you? It's kind of like paying attention to Mitsubishi right now. They make nothing. And that noise. It's the headers rattling against each other. That makes sense. Yeah. Although I will say, in BC, if you get to go through the mountains, it's a lovely drive. But you know, but not going to the Coca-Cola. Going out to like Kelowna as an example, you know, you don't have to hit the Coca-Cola. And it's just a lovely road to drive. And I've been on that road all seasons of the year. Summer, winter, fall, you know. We used to every year, now I haven't been out there in a hot minute, but we used to every year go out to Kelowna and visit my grandmother. Because she lives like a block away from the beach, and it's lovely out there. But I just haven't been able to go for a while now. Like, I haven't been out there since I think it was like 13 or 14 years old. For reference, I'm 28. So, been a minute. Seriously? Like, I love those cars. I'd love to potentially own one. They've got the 3S GTE motors. They're all-wheel drive. They make, you know, high 200 horsepower range, and they kick ass. But also, like, fun fact, everybody fawns over the 2JZ, right? You know, they go nuts over it. But did you know that Toyota never campaigned the 2J in racing? They used the 3S